Hello, animal communicators, and welcome to this week's live and completely free, just for you, power training. This is a place to come for all your top tips in animal communication and just learning simple but always effective ways for you to be able to enhance your work. My goal always is for you to be able to move from being an ordinary animal communicator to an extraordinary animal communicator. That's all that I want for you. Today, I am following up with part three of my three-part series, which is all messages from St. Francis of Assisi, brought back from Assisi, where I had the privilege to connect with St. Francis and asked him for messages that I could bring back for you. So before I dive into the third part of this little series, I just want to remind you, if you don't know who I am already, my name is Sarah Jane LeBlanc. I'm a professional animal communicator, mentor, trainer, and coach, and I work with people just like you. Wherever you are on your animal communication journey, I work with complete beginners, and I also work with established and also professional practitioners too, helping you hone and fine tune your skills so you can be the best that you possibly can be for yourself and for the animals. If you need to reach out to me, just get in touch on any of the website details or the email address that is linked to this post. So, part three. If you haven't seen the other two, they don't follow a specific order. It's just the order that I got received the messages in. But if you want to check out parts one and two, you can do that by either searching for it in my YouTube channel or just going back through the pinned posts if you're in my Facebook group. So the Franciscan order was created on three core principles. There are other principles, but St. Francis himself, his three core principles were peace, nature, and poverty. And I want today to talk about peace because the peace that I felt in not just the crypt where I cried like a baby. I don't know what the emotion was. It was just overwhelming in such a beautiful and very positive way. But when I went to visit St. Francis's Hermitage and just being in that nature space, like, oh my goodness, I have felt the magic of the land many times over, my local land, other lands that I visit. I feel the presence of the land quite greatly. But there was something on a whole other level when I was in St. Francis's own church, his church in the trees beside the cave where he slept. And the energy there was really quite incredible. And it was there that I got this message about peace. And what I want to share with you all is, where do we get peace? How do we cultivate peace? How do we cultivate that core principle that led this man's life and all his followers? How do we bring that peace to our lives? And how do we do that in simple but really effective and powerful ways? And that's really what I want to share with you here. Looking at St. Francis's story, he took his message of peace to the front of the battle lines. He went to the battlefront and he talked to and he conversed with the Arabs. And there's such beautiful drawings of the Arabs that he communed with, spoke with, created peace with. He had peace talks. And it was just amazing to see all these paintings around the walls of different churches that I visited and to know that a lot of the local food in and around Assisi has a lot of herbs and spices because of St. Francis's work on the front lines, creating peace when they were at war with the Arabs. And those people that he spoke to back then in that time are still influencing the culture locally now. That that is the goal, isn't it? To not only create peace, but to open our arms and our borders to allow people to come in and be a part of our lives and our part of the world and to be in that real place of love, compassion, understanding, and living together in harmony. And so that part of St. Francis's life, I didn't actually know anything about until I was there, and I was really blown away by that and humbled by that, and still seeing it now in 2024, seeing the evidence of that, those peace talks way back then still being present. So the piece I want to bring to you here is about, how do you find peace? How do you do that? Maybe you do go to battlefronts. I do know people that go to battlefronts. It's not what I do. It's not what most of us do. But there are ways that we can really epitomize that peace and that love and that harmony, because that's really what the message is underneath the banner or the principle of peace. It's about being in harmony, living in harmony with our brothers and sisters. And I know that you are here because of your love of animals and your animal communication. You bring that love and that peace and that harmony to your animal communication work. But St. Francis's messages to me were really, really clear, and it's about extending beyond our animal work, and how do we show up outside of the animal work. Because here's the thing, I've been doing this work now for more than 20 years, and every single time I run a workshop, I always, without fail, have somebody say, oh, I'm here because I love the animals and I'll do anything for the animals, I just don't want to work with people. And this is really where this message is aimed. How do you take that same love and compassion and harmony and desire for happiness and joy for the animals? How do you take that and extend it to the people as well? Now, I'm not here to argue about, well, people have hurt me, so I don't want to work with people. That's a whole other place, a whole different conversation to be having. What I want to stay focused on here is, what simple things can you do to find peace for yourself? Because here's the thing, if we don't have peace for ourselves, this is a Sarah Jane view, just my opinion, you might disagree, and that's okay. But I believe that if we don't have peace within for ourselves, we can't really spread peace with others. We need to feel it. We need to embody it. We need to be it. So that's what today is what is focused on, what I want to bring you. So how can you bring peace to your life so that you can more easily spread that message of peace and love and harmony? So some top tips for you include meditation. The more you meditate, the more you are in that relaxed state of inner peace and inner calm. If you're not great at meditating, don't worry. I've been slow to meditation. It was the bane of my life for many, many years, even decades actually. So it can take a little bit of practice, but you can also meditate in nature. There is nothing like being surrounded by nature for you to feel really peaceful. And if you want more top tips on how to really maximize your time in nature, listen to part 2 when I give you the 5x5 guidelines so that you can maximize your time in nature in just 5 minutes. So you can be in nature. That can really help you become calm and feel peaceful. Meditation, being in the present moment, being as mindful as you can, even with the daily tasks that nobody really wants to do. The more mindful and more present you can be with them, the more you really support your central nervous system to be in that more calm, relaxed, and peaceful state. Because here's the thing, peace is a state. It's an energetic state. It's not something you go and pick up and put in, put on. It's a state, and we have to find your unique way, or we have to find our unique way to move into that more peaceful state. So meditation, being in nature, being present, being mindful, they're all quite easy, simple ways to activate that state of peace and love and calm and harmony. Some other practices that are not always quite so easy, depending on your circumstances, would include forgiveness. First and foremost, forgiveness of yourself. So where you are perhaps dealing with something, or perhaps you have a history with something or something that happened that you are finding it difficult to come to terms with, start with forgiving yourself. And even if I don't know your history, even if I don't know what you did, what you were a part of, or what you feel responsible for, I absolutely know that whatever it is that happened, you will have been doing your best. It might be a limited version of your best because of the circumstances and the situation that you were in at that time. But I absolutely believe that whatever it was, you would have been doing your best at that time with the resources, the capability, the headspace, the energy that you had at that given time. So be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, forgive yourself for whatever it is, for not being good enough, for not having done enough, whatever the scenario is. I promise you, I absolutely believe from the bottom of my heart, even without knowing your individual story, that you will have done your best. And maybe your best today would be a different best from back then. But at that time, if you were doing your best, let yourself off the hook. So forgiveness is another way that you can find peace. Certainly forgiving yourself creates that internal peace. And then the next step is to forgive others. I've done so many classes, workshops, teaching on this topic. There's not time to bring all in here. I am not asking you to necessarily accept or condone what somebody else has done to you if it's caused hurt or harm. There is power, if it feels the right time for you to explore it, there is power in forgiving that other person or people or the situation or whatever it was. There's great power for you. There's great power for you in that forgiveness process, because you will find that peace when you let that go, because it leaves your whole energy field. So there are some simple ways to change your energetic state into a more peaceful, loving, compassionate, harmonious state of being, and some forgiveness exercises which are not always quite so easy depending on the level of forgiveness that is around for you. But most of all, what we're looking to work with here is, how can you find your peace? Or if you already have peace, how can you elevate that? How can you be in a higher vibration of peace for a longer period of time? We can all be peaceful for 10 minutes after our meditation, and as soon as you go into emails or pick up the phone or deal with a customer or a client, that peace can just go, just evaporate. It's just like that. We all know those scenarios. So how do you elevate your access to peace and being in that peaceful state? So just explore these ideas. How can you be in a peaceful state for longer? How do you navigate the bumps in the road from a place of peace and love and harmony? These are the questions. These are the questions that will actually help you navigate your life in a much more peaceful way, but also be that ripple effect for those around you as you lead by example. And that's, I think, all that any of us can do, is do our best and lead by that example. So I invite you today to think about what things you can be doing to bring that peaceful state into play for you, what practices you might want to explore either now or further down the line around forgiveness that would really help you elevate your state of peace, and what things can you be doing to stay in a peaceful state for longer, and how do you navigate the bumps? How do you navigate the bumps in the road from that place of peace? And here's the thing, this is the magic. If you've stayed this long, thank you very much. This is the magic in finding peace. My personal experience has been, the more peace I feel, the more love I have in my heart, the more compassion I have in my heart, these bumps in the road, they just become easier to navigate, even when the bumps are quite horrific and really not nice for a whole load of different reasons. It's actually easier to navigate them when you're working from that higher vibration of peace, love, compassion. And so I invite you to let me know in the comments what you're going to be doing today to elevate your peace, or to bring peace in. Maybe you don't even know what peace is. I remember the first time I came across peace as an emotional state, I didn't even know what it was. I couldn't name it because I'd never felt it before. It's like, what is this strange nothingness feeling? Like I'm floating, and it was peace, but I'd never felt it before. So maybe you're bringing it in for the first time. Maybe you already know it and you want to elevate it. But what we really want to be doing here, and certainly in any of the communities that I'm a part of, and like this one that I lead, I want for us all to be leading from that place of peace, from that place of love, from compassion, from service, from harmony. So I'm really, really interested, particularly interested in how you can take steps in your normal average day-to-day life that will help you be that peace, leading from that place of love and compassion and harmony? What steps are you going to take to be that ripple alongside me? We're doing it together. And here's the thing, you know this already because you're interested in animal communication. We're all connected anyway. We're all in it together anyway. So when we take those steps for ourselves, we cannot help but influence and impact the energy around us and therefore the people and the animals around us too. So let me know what your steps are in the comments below. I'm so excited to hear and to learn. You can teach me here as well. You'll share something that you do, and who knows how many people you can impact by sharing that. That gives other people ideas and inspiration for how they can show up to be their most peaceful, most loving, most harmonious, and most joyous self. Until next time, keep being peace and share with me, please, and everyone else, what you're doing to be that peace in the world today. Till next time, bye.